Every great dream, every towering success, every life that rose from nothing to greatness started with one thing, a burning desire. Not a wish, not a hope, but a fire that refused to die, even when the world said, "It's impossible." Asterisk. You see, success doesn't begin with money, talent, or luck. It begins with something much deeper, a decision made in silence when no one's watching. A decision that says, asterisk, I will, or I will die trying. Asterisk. The truth is, most people want success, but very few want it bad enough to give up comfort, to face rejection, to stay obsessed when no results show up. Napoleon Hill didn't just write about desire. He proved that when it becomes an obsession, it turns the unseen into the unstoppable. So the question is not, asterisk, can you succeed? Asterisk. The question is, do you want it bad enough? Everything begins with a want, a feeling inside you that says, this is not enough. That whisper that turns into a scream, a silent storm in your chest that no one else can see. But you feel it, and it won't let you sleep. It won't let you stay the same. It wants more, not just money, not just success, but purpose, meaning, growth. And that right there is desire. Desire is not just wanting something. It's a hunger that refuses to die. It's the starting point of every great invention, every world-changing idea, every life ever transformed. Napoleon Hill said it clearly, desire is the starting point of all achievement, not education, not talent, not luck, just desire. That one thing that, if powerful enough, can move mountains, break chains, and rebuild lives. You see, weak desire brings weak results. That's why so many people fail. They want something, but not badly enough. They want change, but not at the cost of comfort. They say, I wish I could, but they don't mean it. Because true desire does not wish. It demands, commands, it burns. And when it burns hot enough, the universe makes way. But you must be honest with yourself. Do you truly want what you say you want? Or are you in love with the fantasy of success? Because desire is not always pretty. It doesn't sit quietly and wait for the right moment. It disturbs your peace. It shakes your excuses. It gets you out of bed when your body wants to sleep. It makes you work when others rest. Because when your desire is real, you can't stay still. You become restless, obsessed, focused, and that is the birthplace of power. Napoleon Hill didn't just talk about desire as a feeling. He gave it a formula, a method, a system to turn desire into gold. And he started with a question, how badly do you want it? That's the question that separates winners from wishers. People who want to change their life don't talk about it. They prove it. In silence, in struggle, in sacrifice. If you want success, you have to want it more than sleep, more than approval, more than comfort, more than pleasure. You have to burn your excuses and rise above your fears. Because that's what desire demands, a decision to say, I will no matter what, even if I'm scared, even if I fail, even if no one believes in me. That's where it begins. Desire gives birth to faith, and faith is the fuel that keeps you going when nothing's working. When the results don't show, when the world says no, you say yes because your desire says, this is who I am now. Most people are waiting to feel ready, but readiness doesn't come first. Desire does. The fire comes first. The decision comes first. Readiness is a result, not a requirement. You don't need to be ready. You need to be hungry. So what does real desire look like? It looks like obsession. It looks like showing up daily, with or without motivation. It looks like failing 5 times and getting up 6. It looks like tears, sacrifice, silence, late nights, early mornings. It looks like working while others sleep, believing while others doubt, speaking life into your future, even when no one claps for you. That's the power of desire. It transforms weakness into strength. It turns I wish into I will. It makes the impossible bend to your will, but only if you stay with it, only if you feed it every single day. So how do you keep that desire alive? Start every morning with it. Before the world pulls you in 1,000 directions, remind yourself what you want. Close your eyes and see it, not as a dream, but as your reality. Speak it, feel it, repeat it, every morning, every night. Write it down, read it out loud. Feel the emotions of already having it, and then act. Even if it's a small step, move, because action feeds desire, and action turns desire into destiny. You see, desire is not magic. It's not luck. It's a system, and Hill gave the system, step by step. 1. Fix in your mind the exact thing you desire, not vague, not fuzzy. Exakt. 2. Determine what you'll give in return. Time, energy, comfort. Something must be exchanged. 3. Set a date, a real deadline, not someday, a day. 4. Create a clear plan, and begin at once whether you're ready or not. 5. Write a clear statement of your goal, your sacrifice, your date, and your plan. 6. Repeat it aloud twice a day with belief, with emotion, with fire. These 6 steps are the fuel, and your emotion is the match. It's not about being perfect. It's about being relentless, because desire is a living thing. It grows when you feed it. It dies when you ignore it. The truth is, every person who changed their life, who built greatness, who rose from nothing, they didn't start with money or power. They started with a feeling, a fire, a thought that said, "I will not die ordinary." And they protected that thought like it was oxygen. They sacrificed, they failed, they bled, but they didn't stop. Because they were fueled by something the world could not take away, desire. So I ask you again, how badly do you want it? Because the world is not waiting. The clock is ticking. And the version of you that you dream about, the successful one, the focused one, the fearless one, is already out there, waiting for you to become it. But you have to burn. You have to want it so bad that you're willing to lose sleep, lose friends, lose fear. Because desire, real desire, is the starting point. But whether it becomes your future or your fantasy, that's up to you. The fire is yours. Now either feed it or watch it die. Desire is powerful, but desire without action is just daydreaming. And that's where most people lose the game. They feel inspired, they feel the fire for a moment, but then they wait, they pause, they hesitate, and in hesitation, desire dies. The truth is, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to knock on your door and offer you your dream. The world only responds to movement, to energy, to effort. And if your desire is real, it will push you into action, no matter how unprepared you feel. Napoleon Hill said, "Begin at once, whether you are ready or not, because readiness is a trap, a lie, a safety blanket for people who are afraid to leap. But what if you just jumped? What if you moved now, broken, unsure, messy, but moved anyway?" That's what burning desire looks like. It doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It creates them. It adapts. It grows while moving. And in that movement, something magical happens. Clarity appears. Confidence builds. Momentum rises. And slowly, the impossible begins to bend in your favor. But you must have discipline. Desire alone is the spark. Discipline is the structure, the routine, the grind, the silent, repeated steps that no one sees, but that change everything. Because what you do consistently becomes who you are. You want to succeed? Then repeat this to yourself daily. I am the type of person who follows through. I show up no matter how I feel. I act even when no one is watching. I move forward no matter how slow, because it's not about speed. It's about direction. And as long as you're moving in the direction of your desire, you're winning. But you'll need to guard your mind, because the world will try to poison your desire. It'll distract you with comfort, numb you with entertainment, flood your head with noise, doubt, fear. It will surround you with people who have settled, who gave up on their own fire, and now want you to do the same. Don't let them. You must protect your vision like it's sacred, because it is. You must protect your mind like a garden, and pull out every weed of negativity, fear, and limitation. Every time you say, I can't, a piece of your desire dies. Every time you say, maybe later, your fire fades. Every excuse is a bucket of water thrown on your flame. And if you throw enough water, it's gone. But the opposite is also true. Every time you act, even in fear, your fire grows. Every time you speak life over your goal, your desire strengthens. Every time you push forward, despite doubt, despite fatigue, you build proof. And proof becomes belief. And belief becomes your new reality. Desire is not a one-time emotion. It's a decision you make every single day. It's waking up and choosing your dream, even when it's easier to stay the same. It's choosing discipline over distraction, focus over comfort, faith over fear. Because here's the secret. You don't need to know exactly how. You just need to know why. Your why is your compass, your fuel. The deeper it is, the longer you'll last. The stronger it is, the higher you'll rise. So dig deep. Ask yourself, why do I want this? What pain am I tired of feeling? What future do I refuse to die without living? Let that truth hit you. Let it break you if it needs to. Because broken people build empires when their why is unshakable. And once your desire is tied to a real purpose, a soul-level reason, nothing can stop you. Not time, not struggle, not failure. Because now you're not chasing a goal. You're answering a calling. So move, breathe, burn. And remember, the fire inside you is not a mistake. It's a message, a map, a mission, and it's time to follow it. Most people give up right before it starts working. They plant the seed, water it for a few days, and when nothing appears above the surface, they walk away. But the truth is, the roots were growing all along, deep, invisible, preparing to break through, but they never waited long enough to see the result. And that's what separates the achievers from the average. The average want quick results, instant growth. The achiever, he's willing to suffer in silence. He's willing to wait, to work, to bleed while the world watches nothing. Because he knows desire doesn't work on your timeline. It works on your belief. You have to be willing to build when no one claps, speak when no one listens, run when no one is watching. That's desire. It's not loud. It's not glamorous. It's lonely, quiet, unseen. And yet, it keeps moving forward. Why? Because the one who carries it knows something the world doesn't. He will not stop. Napoleon Hill said that burning desire is more than a wish. It's an obsession, a healthy madness, an emotional state that drives action regardless of logic. And this world respects obsession because it changes things, creates things. It leaves behind a legacy. But the cost? It's high. People will misunderstand you, call you crazy, tell you to be realistic. And every time they say that, you must smile, because they are talking from the place you're leaving behind. And they can't see what you see. They don't feel what you feel. That fire inside you, it's not for them. It's for you. So protect it. Don't tell your dreams to people who stopped dreaming. Don't share your goals with people who gave up on theirs. They'll inject you with doubt. And once doubt enters, desire weakens. Desire needs belief. And belief needs proof. And that proof doesn't come from the outside. It comes from your own action. Every day you show up, you give yourself more evidence that you are who you say you are. You create a track record, pattern, and that pattern rewires your brain to say, this is me now, not the quitter, not the doubter, not the excuse maker. No, this is the new you, the one who chooses fire over fear. And yes, the journey is long. You'll feel tired, broken. You'll question yourself. There will be days where your only reward is survival. But even on those days, show up. Not for the world, not for the applause, but for that tiny spark inside that refuses to die. Desire will keep testing you, over and over. It will ask, do you still want it? Even now? Even after this failure? Even when no one believes? And every time you say yes, you grow stronger. Because here's the truth. Desire is not for the faint-hearted. It's not for those who want a comfortable life. It's for warriors, builders, visionaries, people who are willing to sacrifice their old life for a new one. People who are willing to go through pain, rejection, boredom, silence, just to live a life that feels like fire in their chest. And when you finally arrive, when you see your goal in front of you, when you realize you didn't just wish for it, you built it, you'll understand why the struggle was worth it. Why the lonely nights, the self-doubt, the discipline, the early mornings, they were not punishment. They were preparation. The world rewards those who want it the most. So stop asking, what if I fail? Start asking, what if I don't quit? What if I stay consistent? What if I become the one who breaks every cycle? That's the question that matters. Because desire alone is not enough. Desire must lead to action. Action leads to habit. Habit creates identity. And identity is what builds destiny. So wake up every single day and prove it. Prove that your desire is real. Not in words, not in dreams, in action, in focus, in obsession. Because this world is yours if you want it bad enough. And I pray that you do. Desire is not enough, not on its own. It must be backed by something deeper, something unshakable. That force is faith. Napoleon Hill said, "Faith is the head chemist of the mind. It's the power that turns ordinary thoughts into magnetic forces. If desire is the spark, faith is the fuel." But here's the truth. Faith is not something you're born with. It's not luck. It's not magic. It's something you build thought by thought, word by word, day by day. And the tool to build it, autosuggestion, speaking life into your mind, again and again, until your subconscious has no choice but to believe. You wake up and say, I am destined for greatness. I am worthy of abundance. I will not stop until my dream breathes. Not once, not twice, every day. Because repetition is the language of the subconscious. Most people speak fear into themselves. They repeat failure, doubt, insecurity, and then wonder why their desire doesn't move. But those who win, they program themselves with precision. They speak what they want, not what they fear. Every word is a seed, and eventually seeds grow. That's why Hill said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So start believing, but belief without vision is weak. You must see it before it exists. In your mind, in your emotions, in your bones. Close your eyes. Picture your dream already achieved. Smell the air. Feel the ground. Hear the applause. Live it mentally before it becomes physical. Because the brain doesn't know the difference between what's imagined and what's real. If you feel it deeply enough, your mind believes it's already happening. And once your mind believes, it starts creating the reality to match it. That's how faith grows. That's how desire matures. You water it with vision, you speak to it with power, and you fuel it with belief. But don't just visualize, emotionalize. Feel the hunger, the fire, the purpose. Let your heart race. Let your body react. That's the energy that creates movement in the universe. Desire without emotion is a whisper, but desire charged with faith becomes a roar. It echoes, it shakes things, it moves people, opens doors, breaks limits. But here's the test. Will you keep believing when nothing shows up? Will you keep visualizing when the results are invisible? Will you keep affirming when the world laughs? Because that's the line. That's where the weak drop out and the faithful rise. You see, the world doesn't respond to your dreams. It responds to your energy. And your energy comes from belief. Belief comes from words. Words repeated become reality. This is the blueprint. Desire, faith, action, result. Over and over, until you win. So no matter where you are today, start building your inner world. Because your inner world controls your outer world. And when the two align, the world bows down. Burn this into your mind. I will never speak defeat over my destiny again. From now on, I will speak only what I want. I will see only what I desire. I will feel only the power I'm meant to hold. Because this is not just hope. This is a decision, a discipline, a desire that will not die until it becomes real. You've dreamed, you've burned, you've believed. Now it's time to build. Desire means nothing if it never turns into reality. And reality, it only changes when you take relentless, focused action. But here's the raw truth. The world owes you nothing. You will not be rewarded for your dreams. You will be rewarded for your discipline. Napoleon Hill said, "Riches do not respond to wishes. They respond only to definite plans, backed by definite desire, through constant persistence." So now it's time to go from wanting to working, from visualizing to executing, from saying someday to saying right now. Burn this into your blood. Desire is a verb. It's not just something you feel, it's something you do every single day. That means you don't scroll for 4 hours and call it a break. You don't wait for motivation. You create it. You don't hope for success. You hunt it down. Because here's the secret nobody tells you. Desire without persistence is a waste of energy. You'll have to do things you hate. You'll have to repeat the boring stuff 1,000 times. You'll have to face failure, mockery, loneliness, and still show up. And that's where most people disappear. They say, "I guess it wasn't meant to be." But not you. Not anymore. Because you know now, you're not here to live a normal life. You're here to break chains, to rewrite your story, to leave a mark. That's why Hill said, "No retreat, no alibis. Burn all bridges behind you." That's how legends are born. Burn the boats. Leave no way back. Make your goal your only option. Whether it takes a year or 10, you do it. Whether people believe in you or not, you do it. Even if no one claps, no one watches, no one understands, you do it anyway. Because in the silence, greatness is built. In the shadows, champions are made. In pain, purpose is born. And when it gets darkest, remember, the dream you're chasing, the life you're building, the legacy you're creating, it already exists, just waiting for you, behind your excuses, beyond your comfort, just past your limits. You want wealth? You want impact? You want freedom? Then earn it. Fight for it. Bleed for it if you must. But never settle. Because if your desire is real, then this life, this ordinary existence, should feel like a cage. And you weren't born to be caged. You were born to conquer, to build, to inspire, to rise. So here now, in this moment, decide, will you die with your dreams still inside you? Or will you live like your soul was set on fire? Because the ones who win, they're not the lucky ones. They're the relentless ones, the obsessed, the consistent, the ones who were laughed at and kept going, the ones who were doubted and kept rising. And now it's your turn. The world doesn't need more people who wish. It needs more people who want it bad enough to work. This is your fire. This is your time. This is your legacy. Fade out. Final line. Desire is not the beginning of achievement. It is achievement in motion.